Hello everyone and welcome to another royal reading. It is a Wednesday afternoon as I am doing this reading, and I have just been notified that my copy of Valentine Lowe's book Courtiers is on its way to me in South Africa. It'll take a few days to arrive, but very exciting. He's been in the news, he's been talking on the British television and telling more about the bullying and how traumatized the staff were. I'm not going to be reading on that today. There's lots going on in the haka world, none of it good. Lady C claims that they are absolutely broke, they're in big financial trouble. The people at Hope Ranch are saying, please don't come here, we don't want you. Trouble with Netflix, apparently the content that they're producing is terribly dull, and they're also terrified that it is going to land them in the dog box because they have said such terrible things about the royals. So trouble all around the block. The thing that caught my eye though, and that I'm going to read on now, is Harry Markle's latest blog post. She goes into the saga of Harry not being notified about the Queen's passing and the delayed flight and what that was all about, all that stuff. But then she ends her piece with, well, an interesting snippet that we'll be looking at as well about missing jewellery. So I filed that one away. But she ends the piece talking about the prospects of Harry slithering home and being forgiven, rehabbed basically. And she says the aides might be sitting at their desks thinking out a lame strategy. And the PR team estimating 3 to 5 years for the people to forget about all the damage Harry has caused. But they would be getting it wrong. Just as they thought they could conceal the wife's behaviour and attacks against the staff and the royal family. Here's some free advice to Buckingham Palace's PR team. The people will not forgive and forget what the Sussexes have done in 5 years, not even 10 years. The bare minimum would be a generation of 25 years. Even if Harry returned penitent and portrayed as a victim, the people would not accept this and would turn on the royal family. They should put things into context in that this saga has been going on for 5 to 6 years now and should never have started and should have been nipped in the bud sharply and swiftly. She's very, very hostile towards the royal family and their treatment of Harry and Meghan. But I thought it was pretty interesting, a pretty interesting starting point for the reading that I am going to do with just the regular Rider-Waite. And that is Harry at 50. To see whether he has in fact come slithering back, whether he has in fact been rehabbed, whether the people do in fact accept him, want to accept him, what his life's going to be like. I did a while back, I did a Meghan at 60 and it was a horrendous reading. I had to go and collapse afterwards, it was so dreadful. But somebody suggested way back then, and I thought it was a good idea. Oh, there's the tower. You can't see it, it's flying out. Somebody suggested do Harry at 50. And I think it's a pretty good idea. And so I'm going to do my 12 card spread that I do for these kinds of readings. I use the houses of the astrological chart, the 12 houses, what they signify. And I put a tarot card in each house and I read it. And we get a very good broad view of what that person's life is going to be like. And we're going to look and see what Harry's life is going to be like in 12 years' time. He's 38 now. What his life is going to be like at 50. How is it going to be going? And he looks like he's 50 years old now. One more shuffle. And he looks pretty bad. You know, that's the other comment, how sad he looks. Hugo Vickers saying he looks so sad. He looks like King the late, well, the abdicated Wallace sidekick. So let's see. See what the cards have to say. 12 card reading, and it always takes me a while to figure out where to put the cards for this reading in this small space that I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And the underlying, we'll have to fill around and just make sure you can see what's going on. The underlying energy is a signifier for the person. And the underlying energy is the Temperance card in reverse. Doesn't bode well. Somebody who's unbalanced, who is not behaving in a good, moderate, even-tempered way. Somebody who's bad-tempered, somebody who's impatient, somebody who's out of harmony with themselves and with the world around them. That's Harry. And let's remind you that this is just my opinion, a tarot reading for entertainment purposes. There is a disclaimer in the box below, but that is not good energy to be dealing with somebody at 50. He looks like he is really out of sorts at 50. And I'm losing my voice. It's been a long, hard day at my desk again. A silent day, so I shouldn't be losing my voice, but I am. And that's quite strange. It doesn't often happen to me in these readings. But today, it's almost as if someone is saying, don't do this reading. I don't want to hear what's coming. Let's see. Public profile. The first card out here. Ooh, there he is. He's not going to be redeemed. He's not going to be rehabilitated with the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. Not at all. He's still lost. He's off his path. He's off his horse. He's dropped his money. He's lost money. He's unstable. He's unsuccessful. He's erratic. He's angry. Got two cards telling me he's angry. Temperance in reverse and the Knight of Pentacles. A very grumpy attitude. The Knight of Pentacles in reverse. He's stalled. His life is stalled. And always when I get this card, it is the Harry card, of course, the Earth sign Prince. And when it's in reverse, and it just about always comes out in reverse for him, I always get the idea, and I'm going to have to stop and clear my throat. Okay, that's better. I'm back and I can speak again. I was saying about the Knight of Pentacles in reverse that always when I get this card for Prince Harry, I feel as if there's some degree, in my opinion, of mental injury, mental impairment, shall we say. Something wrong, because it's the knight that falls off his horse and lands on his head. And I have to stress that that is just speculation and my opinion. But public profile, the first house, not good. People don't respect him. He's not getting anywhere. He's not doing anything useful. And his life has stalled. So let's see money. Next card, money. I'll try not to turn them the wrong way around. Money is the Emperor. I think very much reliant on the king for handouts. Whoever the king is when Harry is 50, he's not the king. He is not coming across as Emperor energy in this reading. Not at all, never. But he is going to be reliant on the royal family for handouts, for housing, for security, for whatever else, flying around, whatever it is, his horses, his polo ponies, whatever else he's got, and he needs the Emperor. Aligned with very powerful figures, but not powerful figure himself, I don't feel. But that is a very comfortable card for him. So he's not going to be in the poorhouse. He's not going to be living under a bridge and collecting little bits of corrugated iron to make himself a little shack. He is going to be very well provided for. There will be a plan in place for him. The Emperor is about management, about organizing, about strategizing, and somebody will have taken this matter in hand. Not him. He's not capable of it, in my opinion. He is going to be reliant on somebody who makes a plan for him and looks after him. His welfare is taken care of. How fortunate for him that he has that to fall back on is all I can say. Relationship with sibling, with his brother. Third house, not good. Not good. We've got two knights now in the reverse. We've got the Knight of Cups now in the reverse. They have not kissed and made up. They're on the outs with that card. Very unhappy with each other, very disappointed, cold. This relationship is not going to be mended. I've seen that. I've done lots of readings on the brothers and the consequences of the marriage to the wife and all of the nastiness that has unfolded since and also before. I think there was trouble before. But there is no reconciliation there, not in that card, not with the Knight of Cups in reverse. That is Prince William, literally. He is the water sign knight, and he is not interested. He has withdrawn that cup from the situation. He doesn't care anymore. He has moved on. He has gone cold. Harry at 50. Harry at 50, so far. Not looking pretty, but he is provided for, so I suppose that's all that he cares about, my opinion. Home. What's home looking like for this grumpy prince? And wow, the Chariot in reverse. Well, we've got the Cancerian again. So William's come up twice in this reading. William might be the one that's in charge of things at this point. And I do apologise for this wonky reading, and the camera's sliding, and it's all a bit of a mess. But never mind, it's the thought that counts. It's a Cancerian energy, the Chariot in reverse. I think Prince William is going to be in charge of housing for Harry, and is not going to be handing over the keys to Westminster Abbey, I nearly said, the Windsor Castle, or any of those. I think it's going to be a humble little dwelling, somewhere out of sight. And the dog agrees with me. And Chariot in reverse, again, a roadblock energy. We've got two now. Knight of Pentacles, the journey that has stopped. And the Chariot in reverse, that is, the wheels have come off. He's driven into a ditch. That usual story that I tell of the car that's overturned and the wheels spinning and smoke coming out. It's a disaster. It's a disaster, the Chariot in reverse. He's been overambitious. He has played his hand all wrong. He has been greedy. He's been difficult. He's been driven. He's been obsessed. And it's all come back. The chickens have come back to roost. He may even be in the chick inn at this point, but that's not a happy home. That is a home. He's blown it. He's ruined everything. And he's been humbled. The Chariot in reverse is a humble card. You've pushed your luck. You've been overambitious. You've messed up, and now you have to rely on charity from a person who is in the driver's seat. He's not in the driver's seat, literally, with the Chariot in reverse. William is. William is. And so, how is relationship with children going to go? Fifth house. Fifth house is a few things. It's love. It's children. Oh no. We get a child card, a Pentacles in reverse. Not good. And this makes me sad. The rest I don't care about. But it does make me sad that they basically manufactured those children. That's my opinion. Manufactured those children. And then the relationship with them is sour. Might not even see them with that card in reverse. It's that bad. Pentacles in reverse. It's not a loving connection. It's distance, it's difficulty. They may well be in America, royal family having to pay for Madame to live in a vast mansion and the children to go to very expensive schools, and Madame, of course, to live in the style to which she has become accustomed, still hanging on to that jewellery, just being snarky for entertainment purposes, speculating only that she's hanging on to the jewellery. But that's not a good card. How's his house? How's his day-to-day life going? What's he doing? This is a terrible reading. I'm going to have to lie down after this one. The Eight of Cups in reverse. That is the stuck in sorrow card. Can't move on from the bad things that have happened. Can't let the past go. Can't walk away from your misery. Might still be nursing a broken heart at that point. Might be consumed with regret. Might be drinking a lot with the Eight of Cups in reverse. But that's a dangerous card. It speaks to me of depression, of mental illness, misery, moping around, not doing anything constructive, not doing anything useful. We've seen that with the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. Not getting on with things, not recovering from this. And I could almost feel sorry for him. How's the marriage? How are relationships, committed relationships, partnerships going with the 7? Oh la la. The Hermit in reverse. He's alone. What a surprise. That is the Harry card. The Virgo. I'm losing my voice again. He really doesn't want this reading. I wonder if he watches tarot readings on YouTube. Hello, Harry, if you do. Yeah, the Virgo card in reverse. The Hermit in reverse. Hermit is finding your inner wisdom. Fluffy's come to join us and she's going to start scratching. There she goes. Finding your true north. Reflecting, self-examination. There's no self-examination here, so he hasn't taken responsibility for what's happened. Clearly he is on his own. He has been on his own for some time with that Hermit card. The fact that it's in reverse tells me he has been on his own for some time and he is now possibly slinking out of that period of isolation and withdrawal and retreat where nobody wants to see him, nobody wants to have anything to do with him, and maybe just tentatively getting back into circulation. It's not telling me that there is future Duchess there. And I remember when, way back, it seems like decades ago, but when this whole sorry saga really got serious and Harry and Meghan actually got married, and right up until the moment when, you know, she emerged from that car and swatted that poor man away who was trying to help her get out of the car, there was talk that it was all going to be over and it wasn't going to happen and the royal family were going to buy her off and, you know, pay her and all this stuff. And the hope about the future Duchess, Harry would be saved by the future Duchess. That was before everybody realised that Harry was just as big a you-know-what, don't want to swear on this channel, as she was. So, alone. There is no future Duchess. There is no second marriage. There is loneliness. There is not finding the path, the true path, not doing enough self-examination, taking bad advice, listening to the wrong people, needing to be in therapy but not being in therapy. The Hermit in reverse. Hermit is very much a therapy card. This is horrendous. So let's move on to the 8th house, which is a strange house. It's a Scorpio house, so it's about sex, it's about power, it's about victimhood, it's about transformation, it's about death, it's about all those things that nobody really wants to have anything to do with. Oh dear. 10 of Cups in reverse. This is misery heaped upon misery with the 10 of Cups in reverse. All of those things that I've just mentioned. He's powerless. He feels like a victim. He feels like a loser. He's failed. He probably owes money to the taxman. He probably didn't get money inheritance that he thought he was going to get. This is just miserable. I don't think that the blondes are lined up at the door like they were when he was a teenager, willing and nubile young ladies. I don't think there's any of that. I'm trying to be not too graphic. But anyway, that's not a good card. 8th house. Very unhappy. Very, very, very unhappy. I think a lot of regret in there for the way that he treated people who have passed. And we know too, King Philip, where did that come from? Prince Philip and Queen Elizabeth. Grandparent house, treated them badly, regret, and there may be another demise by that stage by the time he's 50 that he may also be filled with regret about the wasted opportunities, didn't go to Balmoral Castle, said horrible things, wrote nasty books, made horrible Netflix documentaries, full of regret, full of it. 9th house is publishing. Oh, I don't want to look. I'm frightened of this card in the context of this reading. International travel, the law, lawsuits, publishing, all that stuff. What's going to be going on at 50 for has-been? Vicious things. Vicious things. Still at it. Still at it with that Knight of Swords in reverse. He is still at it. It's the fast and furious card. When it's upright, someone comes charging in, knight, in shining armor, charging in to rescue you, to do battle. Very focused, very swift energy, very ruthless energy. In the reverse, it's very cruel and dangerous and reckless and harsh energy. And Fluffy is agreeing because she's shredding my furniture. Naughty girl. Hard to tell her she's naughty when she's so cute. But anyway, hey Fluffy. She's listening to the reading. He's still at it. He's still going to be suing people. He's still going to be writing horrible things. He's just going to be making trouble wherever he goes. So let's see, in terms of the 10th house, that's his career. He doesn't have a career, but his leadership roles, organizations he belongs to, that kind of thing. With the 10th house, he's making plans. He's got deals going on with the 2 of Wands there. He's probably doing still the Centre Bali thing, the Africa Parks thing, those kinds of things. It's an international feel, this card, because the person there is holding the globe in his hand and he's looking out to see to the territories that he's planning on conquering, because it's about plans. So he's got plans. He's still going to be trying to stitch deals together. He is going to be, now she's playing. Okay, a large hint to me is to stop reading and go and play with Fluffy. But he's going to be still trying to make deals with people, unsuspecting people. But I think by this time everybody is suspicious and nobody wants to have anything to do with him. But he's going to be trying. This is not a glorious card. This is not a successful card. This is not a card of accomplishment. By 50, you pretty much know whether you have won at the game of life or not. That's an or not reading here. So in the context of the or not cards that surround that 2 of Wands, I'd say desperate measures by this stage to try and get something going. It's sitting opposite the Chariot in reverse, and that's the not getting anything going. So it doesn't bode well. How is a life going with friendships and dreams and goals and all that stuff? Does he still have friends? Has he reconciled with his friends? Okay, he's motivated. He's going to start all over at 50. New dreams, and that ties in with this 2 of Wands here. Something new is going to pop up for him. Could be that in the friend group he finds somebody to dangle with, but more he's got some new goal that he's all fired up about. I think conservation, I think environmental things. I think he's probably been parked off in Africa. That's the other reading, the little bit of news that I am aware of, that we have the fortune in South Africa to be the first state visit. Our president is going to be the first state visit to the new king. Our president is not a popular person in this country at the moment, as we all sit with lights out and scandal after scandal. We still have load shedding and no sign of improvement. It looks like, in fact, we might be plunged into complete darkness. But I am aware of that. I do think that the topic of discussion might be, what can we do with Prince Harry and where can we stick him in South Africa / Africa, because Africa and South Africa seem to be viewed as one and the same. But anyway, enough of that snark. So something new that he's thinking, a new dream, a new scheme, a new goal, a new vision for Prince Harry. Then the 12th house is the house of mental health, hidden things, institutions, hospitals, your subconscious. Again, a bit nervous to look at this card. Yeah, okay. The Fool in reverse. He's not going to get there in this life. He's not going to do the work. He's not going to figure it out. He's not going to start over. He's not going to do the work. We see that with the Hermit in reverse. He just isn't. It's the card of new beginnings, the Fool, when it's upright. Enthusiasm, optimism, starting afresh. But it takes work and letting go of things, and we don't have letting go of things because we have the 8 of Cups and the 10 of Cups sitting in this reading. So not able to process that cycle that he's been through. When he's 50, 50 of course is a tricky time astrologically, because you're in your Chiron return, which is always ouch. And the wounded healer, you have to address your wounds that you haven't possibly been conscious of and that have driven your life up until then. He's got tons of wounds, and he's going to be adding a few in the near future, I would say, with marriage and relationship and children and all of that going awry. He might not be feeling so smug then, and might not be so quick to criticize other people's parenting when he's had a go at it himself and failed. But the Fool in reverse tells me he hasn't woken up, he hasn't come to his senses. He's still a fool. After having had this journey to his 50th birthday, still a fool, still an idiot, still off his horse, lying there on the ground with a sore head, and hasn't figured it out, not going to figure it out. If he hasn't figured it out by then, he's not going to figure it out. And so that doesn't bode well. A gloomy reading, a grim reading. Family is looking after him, providing for him, but don't want anything to do with him. With that Prince William card there, nah, stay well away from me. A lot of regret for the way he's treated grandparents, broken relationship with his children, single, alone, sorry for himself, angry, frustrated, trying desperately to put new deals together, still maybe busy with litigation and stupid books that he's trying to write with his crown, and just mentally unstable, mentally still an idiot, in his hidden places, in his wounds, just not getting to where he needs to get. And a sad reading, a gloomy reading. Sorry to be a bit of a downer, but that's just the way it is. And I'm told to look at this second underlying card before I close this reading, the Two of Pentacles. It's the Two of Pentacles in reverse, and that's another card of imbalance, being out of alignment, being overwhelmed, being just unhinged, basically, really, and having nothing to offer anyone. It's my merching card in these royal readings. Got nothing to offer, nothing to give anyone. So it's telling me it goes over here with this trying to make new deals, trying to put something together. No, nobody's interested, nobody's going to listen, nobody's going to fall for it. It's done, it's finished. That's the reading. Happy birthday to Prince Harry. Happy 50th birthday to you. And good luck with it. You're going to need it unless you do something radical between now and then. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again tomorrow.